Hey, Mrparka here to review a new one from Unearthed Films. This is Necrophile Passion. It's from Germany, and you immediately think necrophilia, Germany, Jörg Bucharest, and you think necromantic. And this obviously had to be inspired by Jörg's films. And, I didn't know what to expect of this. It was about 50 minutes. I had heard mixed things, and I figured I at least was in for something maybe interesting. I put it in, and it opens up pretty interesting. A guy's taking a stroll through the woods, and he sees a dead body, and he stops, and he almost calls the police, and he thinks, and he's about to dial a number, and then he takes the body home with him and proceeds to screw the hell out of the body. That's where I thought the film was going. I thought it was going to be a relationship between this man and this corpse, but it unfolds into more so his past and things like that, and why he is messed up as he is, and why he inflicts pain on himself. And that even stems, and then he begins to blame something in the modern era that he can on it. And originally it was his mother who was bad to him. Of course, all psychopaths' mothers are bad to him in film. And then it was his girlfriend, so he decides to take an action against his girlfriend. Most of the film is him sitting around, walking around, kind of cutting himself. I always wondered why that was just like a go-to for people who are disturbed to cut themselves, especially older people. I never knew anyone that would admit to cutting themselves at a certain age. And I always just thought that my older, mentally disturbed people would be a little more creative than that. I guess more constructive. But that's just the way it is in films, and maybe in real life, I'm not too sure. But he kind of has hallucinations, and all the hallucinations will foreshadow the end of the film. I kind of like how they foreshadow the end of the film, and definitely it's less of a horror film or psychological type deal, and more of a kind of like a fetish film of just women screwing dead bodies, necromantic style, but more so just focused on the sex. It's not absolutely horrible. It's only 50 minutes long, and I think it's interesting enough that people will want to watch it just because the subject matter. Necrophilia is kind of it's like a taboo subject in horror films or in any films, period, anything. So people will kind of be drawn to it. I did enjoy the beginning. I thought that it was going to be something a little different. I was a little shocked that something like that happened right off the bat. And the corpses look pretty decent in the hallucinations and things like that. And I like that it used the foreshadowing for it to the end. But I just kind of felt that it was something that I've seen already, or that it was just kind of like a bunch of puzzle pieces that you could see on the and then they were just put together, and you could see every little puzzle piece what it was going to be. Well, he cuts himself, he had a bad mother, and things like that, and they shelled it together, and it kind of was just like, well, yeah, this guy's just your everyday kind of psycho in a movie. Like I said, some people will dig it. It's only 50 minutes long. It's got tons of nudity in here. A good amount of nudity, and the girls look good. There is even some glimpses of penises in here as well, and a pretty graphic scene where a man fucks a corpse and where women screw like puppets and corpses and things like that. They're not actual corpses, but this the first one was definitely a lady pretending to be dead, and the rest were, of course, made corpses that looked pretty good. It's up to you. You guys can see this kind of guy go a little nuts, or you can watch Necromantic again, which I'm a fan of. I say Necromantic's like an art horror film. This is more of like a fetish type horror film with lots of sex and things like that. Without the hallucinations and things, most of the film is the guy just sitting there having flashbacks about his childhood and contemplating something violent. But that is a Necrophile Passion. It's shot decently. Looks decent. It's divided into chapters, love, hate, things like that. So you guys might know what you're getting into. A serious German horror film about necrophilia. Not nearly as good as something like Necromantic, but not much would be. But I'm Mrparka. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.